Hello, hello, this is Enoch Robbins here. I'm going to talk about a comment I received today from YouTube user Abliss, who says, "Hey man, I've seen people do stuff like download the sounds and use them in an external DAW like FL Studio. Do you know how to do that?" So I'm going to talk about, one, what a DAW is, two, how to use it, or rather how to get started with it, and three, how to download sounds primarily. So to start off with, a DAW is a digital audio workspace. It's any program in the computer that you use to generate or edit sound. This can be anything from super high-rise, pricey things like Pro Tools and Logic and Max, all the way down to Audacity, which is a free program, which I may do a guide to in the future, but there's plenty of great guides on that already. That's not something I really need to give a guide on. But I'm going to go in and talk about the one that I use myself, FL Studio. We're up to version 20. They make new versions every few months, it seems like. FL Studio is a digital audio workspace that is primed for PC users. And as someone who's always used a PC, I've never really been a huge fan of Macs myself. I don't like the OS. I like the freedom I have with the PC. It's been my preferred one. So I'm going to open up my copy of it here. I'll link the download in the description. You can download the trial and use it for free. What you lose in the trial, you cannot save a project and come back to it. You can export your project, so if you get it all done in one go, you can export the file and keep that as like an MP3, which is what I did for years until I had, adult money. When I was in high school, this is what I would just use the demo version, and now I have adult money and I can own it. So here's what it looks like when you open it up. The one that I have comes out pretty blank because I don't want it to load a project. But you'll go over here, sampler. I usually replace that with something. I'm going to replace that with, there's miscellaneous in here, FL keys. That's just a piano. It has keyboard layout. So it has keyboard layout. If you go up here, right around here, you can click on piano roll, and suddenly you have the same kind of layout you have in Chrome Music Lab if you've watched that video, except here it doesn't go up by do, re, and mi. It goes up by half step. So instead of being the whole steps we're used to, goes up chromatically. I have my buffer set very low, which is something I can get into later. I have it set that way so my computer, which isn't super high powered, can handle that while recording video. So that's the basics of how you start this. It works the same way that Chrome Music Lab does, except you have a couple more features in this. You can control the note. You can control the length, so I can stretch it out. I can make it long, I can make them short. I'll put in some harmony there. And you can control what we call the velocity, which is how fast your fingers strike the keys. So how fast you would play, how hard you would hit, turns into not just volume, but also the tone of the note. So if you hit the keyboard hard, it's not just going to be loud, it's going to be a brighter, more harsh sound. So you get that here. If I make this last one really, really high velocity, let me put it just on computer audio so you can hear that better. Sorry, that was kind of loud there in the beginning. I'm doing this in one take though, so I'm not going back and fixing that. Live videos, woo! Anyway, that's FL Studio. Going back into Chrome, I want to talk about something that you can use to download sounds. A service that I love is conversesamplelibrary.com. You have to make an account, but any email will work for it. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You just use an email. You can log in through Facebook and make an account that way. It is a set of free-to-use samples from all these recordings that Converse, yes, Converse is in the shoes, put together. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to pull up, they have lots of drum samples, but, analog guitar synth. Here we go. So I'm going to turn off my audio and go you can go in here, overview. They've got one-shots here, which are like your drum pad. I'm going to put it back on computer audio. So you can take these samples and put them together. You can even organize them over here into separate kits. Like I made one that's just out of horn sounds. Anyway, those by themselves don't do a lot. I'm going to go into one and show you one that I like. I pulled it up a second ago. There's one that's the Hub Week tabla and violin session. So tabla are North Indian drums, sorry. Mridangam in South India. Tabla are the North Indian variant of that. And yeah, tabla and violin. Over here, you see I've already downloaded this one. You can download the samples. I went for loops. Loops are what you call sounds that take up more time, and you would run it again and again and again and again with some extra drums to help it out. One shots are things that you would like hit once. It's in the name. Loops, loop. One shots you hit one time. It's in the name. So right here I picked this one. And one of the cool things they do over here is they already give you the BPM, so how fast it is. This will come into play later. So notice right here, this is 100 beats per minute, 100 BPM. I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to minimize this one too. Or I'm going to make it half-sized. I'm trying not to give everyone a peek inside my computer here. So I'm going to try and move this so I can, there we go. So I talked about up here you have piano roll. That's for one pattern. Over here you've got playlist. Up top right here, this is like the master track for the whole thing. If I drag this sample, that's the one I just downloaded, and drop it in here, suddenly I've got that, but it doesn't fit. It doesn't last right. If I turn on the metronome, which is up here, metronome right here, turn that on, put it on this one, it won't sound right. Our click doesn't match up because we're running it too fast. If we bring this down to match the BPM, it fits perfectly. Now, it'll line up. So I realized I didn't talk over any of that, but I'm not redoing this because this is a quick thing for one person. So what I did there was I made it match 100 beats per minute, made it match here, copied and pasted that one by shift clicking and dragging it over again and again, and then I made the thing full screen, went back to editing my pattern because this is a loop. Now I'm back in my pattern, and if I come in here now, I can put in my pattern, put it back on here, so I can do 1. So now I'm going to start doing some fast work here because I don't want this to take forever. This is all quick copy and paste fast work. So dun 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 dun. Gonna make that one a little bit different. Let's see if this works. And now I can make that pattern go. If I go in here and I right click again, I can insert. There are tons of different things here. I'm going to go with drums. I like FPC. Let's see what I can get out of this one. I'll just make something quick. I'm going to change it from pattern 1 right here to pattern 2. Now I have a second pattern I can add in. And there's so much you can do with this. There are a million tutorials on FL Studio already. Hit piano roll. Now I'm in it with all the different drums I have. I'm going to go ahead and put it down here so I can hear how it sounds. No, go back. There we go. So, I'm going to double my kick drum and a tom by shift clicking again. And that's a kind of sloppy pattern, but I kind of like it. You can adjust the levels, so I can take that drum back a little bit. Can lower the velocity of these guys. So I can start off with just the one and then add the other one in. Now piano. Now drums. So I'm going to let you listen to that part now with just the music, and I'm probably going to call it a day here. Any more questions, you can ask me. Sorry this is a bit rushed, but I told the person I would do it. I told Abliss I would do this today. I did it today. I hope that made sense and answered the questions that Abliss had, and I hope that also was interesting to other people. Remember, I'll link all the websites and software I used here in the description. Um, remember, FL Studio can be used for free, and both the plugins I used here were FL Keys, which is under Miscellaneous, and FPC, which is under Drums, because it's the drum kit. Both of those will be in the demo version or the base level version. You have the keyboard and drum kit in the base level version, and you can add the audio clips in the base level version. Everything I've done here you can do in the free version or the base level $100 version. Yeah, I hope this is helpful. Any more questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. I like answering questions. So have a good day. Happy music making.